Hey, what's up, family? In today's video, I'm going to share how a life-changing practice pretty much altered my perspective on how I look at my finances and the reason why I urban homestead. So with that being said, let's begin. Hey, what's up, family? My name is Mia, and welcome to my humble abode. Bohemia Homestead is a place where we teach urban dwellers like yourself how to live a simpler life through various self-sufficient and sustainable practices. So, if you're interested in applying sustainable and self-sufficient habits to your space, such as food preservation, DIY, urban gardening, and more, then you've come to the right place. Today's video is going to be based around how sometimes the most challenging situations can lead you to incredible growth and transformation. So, let's begin. Back in March of this year, I had a car accident, and it happened 2 days before my first international trip. The day that I was supposed to go to my mom's house, we were having taco night because that was my first trip. My mom wanted to celebrate, and that was like the week that she was just making a lot of my favorite foods because she knew I was going to be gone for 2 weeks. So my family was already there, and I just arrived. And typically when I arrived at her house, I park right in the front of her home, no problem, because we can do that between certain hours. When I pulled up to her house, I have this routine for the most part that I sit in my car for about 5-10 minutes and I just transition. I don't know what it is. That's just a transition period for me. It's when I'm at home, when I'm at someone's house. If I had a busy or a hard day at work or a difficult day at work, I usually have a transition point when I get to my designation. So our destination. This day was a little different. I felt like I had to get out the car. I felt like something was just like, get up, get out the car. So, and just go right in. So what I did, instead of sitting there doing my transition period or routine, I ended up getting up and going right in. About 5 minutes later, once I get into the house, 5 to 10 minutes later, as I'm making my tacos, I'm laughing and joking with my family, and all of a sudden I hear this loud screech like, "Skirt!" Crash. And I'm sitting there and I'm going, well, dang, whoever just got into that car accident, really did a number on their vehicles. So as I'm continuing to make my tacos, my Ronnie J just slowly looks up, and I'm like, it takes me a second, and I'm like, no, 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 no. So I immediately jet out the door like this can't be happening to me. And lo and behold, my truck was hit. And it was by a drunk driver who literally was speeding down the main street at about 50 miles an hour, and he lost control and smacked dead into my truck. And end up doing damage to his truck, which was new, or his SUV, which was rather new, and lost control and ended up going to the side of the road. So he didn't even go far. He didn't go far at all. He hit us or hit me and then went down. Emotionally wise, I was confused. I honestly, this is a safe space. I was caught between hitting him in his face and crying. And the reason why I cried is because it's a variety of emotions. One, I just got out the car and this happened. Two, I just put in like $2,500 worth of work into that truck for it to get hit. And three, I just going through a lot financially with that truck. So to see this happen was just, it was just a lot going on. Oh, and four, I realized he was drunk. And that's what made it even matter, because I was like, if my truck didn't get hit, who else would have gotten hurt. So I'm going through all these different emotions at the same time. And let me give a shout out to my family. They came out immediately when they saw me jet out, they got up and jet out too. So as I'm sitting there, I'm going through all these emotions. I'm turning in circles because I just don't know where to face. I don't know what to do. I want to run down there and hit him, but then I'm here and then I'm so it was just chaotic. But it's beautiful because my family went into action. So right after the car accident, like literally right after the car accident, an officer just happens to be driving down the street. Just happens to be driving down the street. So my family's, my Ronnie J and my brother, they're waving him down. They're like, hey, he's like, hey. And we're like, car accident. He's like, oh, he goes check out the car accident. My mom immediately embraces me. She just comes and hugs me and just say, it's going to be all right, babe. It's going to be okay. And my son comes, he rubs my back. My daughter's not there. She's at her other granny's house. And it's just all this is going on. And mentally, I just was so, I want to say I was mad. I think I was over processed at that time. So I really didn't have an emotion towards anything. I just kind of I was existence. I was just letting myself feel whatever was rushing that way. So a little bit of background about the truck. I had a 2019 Dodge Ram and I bought it in 2020. So it was a very brand new truck. My first ever brand new vehicle in general. So I bought it because of my current hobbies. I like to finish furniture, upholster furniture. I was helping people move and all that good stuff. It was a great resource at the time. On top of that, I got a lot of compliments on it because they didn't really see many chicks with big trucks driving around. So here you go. But on the other hand, it was a costly piece of machinery. So financially, I would say I was spending about $1,500 a month, at least on that truck alone. So my monthly bill was like $800. Whenever I had to get an oil change, I was like $100 and some dollars. And that just was, I would say 100 to 400 because there were other parts. When you have a 4-wheel drive, there's other components you got to pay to get the oil changed out of. And so it could be costly. Gas was easily $100 a week because I work 20 to 30 minutes away. So I'm driving back and forth with gas. That doesn't include my children needing to go places. So I was at least spending $100 every week. And my insurance was also expensive. So it was about $350 to $400. Now, that wasn't because I was doing anything wrong. It started off at $200 and something, and then it just went up. Probably because of the car thefts and the break-ins and all that good stuff that was happening. It just kept going up, as we all are experiencing now. So I would say each month my car was really expensive. Now, how did that affect the rest of my finances? Well, it was my car payment was more than my house payment. And I learned that that's a no-no. You should never do that. You should never have a car that is more expensive than your house. And I got caught up in the idea of, oh, well, it's a $50,000 car. I can afford that. But I didn't realize that you're paying $50,000 off within 6 years, not like a house where you're paying it over 30 years. So your car payments are redunculous because you're trying to pay these things off. So yeah, my car payment was practically almost double my house payment. And that's just the car payment alone. Then on top of that, it was causing financial strain because that truck was becoming very costly to maintain. I would find myself paying extra towards other things. So, and that doesn't include the debt that I'm already trying to pay and get rid of and all that good stuff. And I'm only doing this with the current income I have. Just throwing extra money towards this car and trying to get it paid off because I'm like, this bad boy is eating my checks alive, like for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And as I am doing that, it's starting to hit me in my other bills. It's starting to make me minimize my focus on the debt. It's starting to take away from my family experiences because I'm trying to maintain it. That's where it all became uncomfortable. When this situation happened, it worried me because I was thinking, oh crap, if I gotta fix this car, then that's gonna be another amount that I gotta spend, because you got the expensive deductibles for your insurance, and then that's a ding on you and all that good stuff. So I'm already thinking that. Me losing the car altogether was a secondary thought. I was thinking, what if I gotta replace it? Or what if I gotta repair it? Now, mind you, I just put $2,500 into repairing it, new brakes and all that good stuff. Needless to say, the car was totaled. And at first I was upset because I was like so used to having it. I had that truck. I was struggling with that truck for 4 years. So it was like a bad relationship. But then on my trip, as I started thinking about it, I started realizing that it was a blessing in a weird type of way. So on one hand, it left me carless at the time. But then on the other hand, it pretty much left me car loanless, if that's a word, which is probably not. But the insurance company, because I paid so much in advance all the time, remember I was talking about the sacrifice earlier, that actually helped me because they were able to pay off, I would say, about 99% of the loan, leaving me with a little bit over $1,200 to pay off. Since that accident, I started to really think about my financial health. I started thinking about where I stood when it came to self-sufficiency and sustainability. I started thinking about things like, why don't I have a safety net for my home or for my family? I thought about my values. What do I care about? What can I do? What do I need to do? What strains did I have before and why did I have them? So it was just a lot of different components that stuck to me. And it really started me on this journey to figuring out my why, figuring out the necessities, and figuring out what I wanted to do now that I had this reacclimated income, if you will, or this renewed income that I didn't have for a very long time, about 4 years. Years ago, I would have, if I was in a situation like this, and this is how I know I've evolved and grown in this area of my life, because typically, when people get newfound or reacquainted with the wealth they've already had or the money that they've had, aka your check, most people, I guess, wouldn't think about things like this. But me, I wanted to change because a few years back when I started this journey, I started it because I saw other people who appeared to be free, to be more at peace, because they had more of an understanding of what they were living for, what they were fighting for, what they wanted in their homes, the safety of their homes, or the living. They were more responsible for that. And that's what intrigued me. But before this final accident, which was the straw that broke the camel's back, I was trying to figure it out, really. I was trying to find, how can I get there? And one of the first things I realized is that you got to get fed up with where you're at. That's the first thing. You can't make a change really until you're fed up with your current situation, right? There are many times in life where we go, oh, I want to do this. I may do this. I may get out. I'm going to do it eventually. I'm going to do it. But all in all, it takes that one day when you're finally fed up and you're like, you know what? I'm tired of this, for it to happen. That accident was it. Because before that, the truck got broken into. I got a whole series. I got a whole video on the amount of stuff I had happen with that vehicle, or just vehicles in general. So we're not here for that. But That was that final situation. I just reached my peak and I was like, I'm over it. Oh, I was like, I'm over it. I don't want to deal with it anymore. I want to do something different. So, with that said, I knew something had to change and I had to start looking at what needed to change. And the first thing was my mindset. I had to realize what I wanted in life. And I'm a person that I don't just say it, I actually have to write down my plans. So, what you see in front of me right here is my little journal or my little daily book or daily journal that I have. And I got this at Target. It's called Trust the Journey. It's a beautiful book by Be Rooted. You can see it's worn down because I carry it everywhere. You can see it's all messed up down here and all on the side. This is a well used book. But within this book, I started creating something called a holistic life plan. And I'm going to share a little bit about what that looks like and how that has helped me. And the basis of this plan is for me to really write down what I see, what I want to do, what do being self-sufficient, sustainable, and living a simple life, or to be financially secure, free looks like. What does that look like to me? What does that mean to me? This journal, I had to start not only identifying those things, but I started off with what is my steps towards that change look like. So I didn't just like haul off and say, I'm gonna make a holistic life plan. I didn't do that. I literally had to first understand my why. Why am I doing this? What do I desire? Then I had to start making those steps towards those changes. So for instance, let's start with me being financially free or financially secure. What does that mean to me? That means being less stressed. That means enjoying time, making memories with my family. That means me being able to comfortably pay for things without having to worry about it. That means me living below my means. That means becoming a better steward towards my funds. So that's what that particular topic means to me. I did that for all of them, all three of them. What does each one mean? Then I had to get to a point where I started identifying what steps am I really willing to do to make that change. Like I mentioned, you have some people that are amazing with, I'm going to make this change mentally, done, every day, done. They've got it. God bless you all that do that. Me, I am a book person, so I would need to write stuff down. That's how I process, because I can have a million things on my plate and are a million things on my mind, and if I don't write down what means the most to me, it's going to fall to the wayside until I get to it later. By writing it down, I'm able to go back through it and review it consistently. So that's why I have this. But these are changes that I had to document and I had to start looking into in order to make this change financially. I had to do the same thing with sustainability and simple living or self-sufficiency. So with my sustainable goals, in order for me to be more sustainable, I started looking into possibly getting an electric or a hybrid vehicle. What does that look like? Because I'm gonna get another car, but I'm not going to get one immediately because I'm still trying to figure out what I want. But when I do get one, I want to be more environmentally conscious when it comes to my car. So what does that look like? Is that a hybrid plug-in or is that a electric vehicle like a Tesla? So how does all this connect to urban homesteading? It helps me simplify my life, and the main reason why I got into urban homesteading is because I wanted to get out of the cycle and I wanted to start living a simpler, more self-sufficient, sustainable life. I didn't want to I didn't like being stressed out. I don't like being stressed out, just like you guys. So these changes have helped me in that realm, and also it keeps me more grounded and connected to nature, because I believe when you start getting to urban homesteading, one of the things that you have to get more in tune with is nature and what's around you. Also, urban homesteading it also includes financial stability. There's a lot of homesteaders that get into this situation because they want to be free. They don't want to be strained and stressed. So that's why they decided to go this route of growing less dependent of the external sources and more dependent on what they can do internally. Also, by making these changes now, when it comes to urban homesteading, I'm able to look at what I need to reach my goal. So I shared with you guys some time ago that my goal is to eventually get a little more land, have my own garden spaces, have a little more animals. Like I want bees and I want chickens. That's what I want on my space. Maybe a goat later on, but I'm doing bees and chickens right now so that I can learn how to take care of or grow my own food and have a couple of resources available for my family. In addition, I'm getting into food preservation, and some of those things require skills, those require tools, those require courses and all that good stuff. So this whole process that I'm going through is going to ultimately help fund those things, and it also helps me get the knowledge and skills that I can share with you all. Now we got into that, let's talk about how this helps me, or the steps that I decided to take towards this change. In addition to the plan, I started doing things in my life such as putting myself on a budget. I've been doing that for 3 months now, and what's funny is I've done it before, but the rest of this year and next year, my goal is to be consistent with my budget. And I'm gonna tell you right now, budgeting for the 4 months, I'll say 3 or 4 months that I have, really opened my eyes to what I have available and what I don't have available. And it actually empowered me. So now I can look at my budget, and I do it every 2 weeks before. And I watch like Dave Ramsey and other financial gurus that I enjoy watching. And I'm working on learning how to do a zero-based budget, where I write down every time before I spend money in my bills or in my check, I start writing down what's due that month. And I keep track of all my bills. I keep track of any credit card debt that I'm dealing with, or any debt in general that I'm dealing with. And I start sorting out my spending plan, how I plan on paying these things off. The next thing is looking at my debt and being realistic with my debt. And I'm focusing on finance because that's one of the biggest things. And really, I can't really work on the others in depth until I get this established. So that's why this is one of the main things I'm talking about. But in addition to working on that budget, I had to have a reality check with myself when it came to my debt and my bills. And to be honest, that is one of the most uncomfortable conversations you have with yourself. So I literally listed all my bills, everything I owed money on that I can think of, and I just tracked it. I went on a search, found out how much I pay a month, how much I contribute to it, how much I don't pay. It was a wake-up call. Because remember, I don't have this truck anymore. So I was paying like bare minimum on everything else because I was too busy trying to pay out this truck. Now that I don't have this truck, now my focus is becoming everything else. I had a really humble experience on learning about the debt. Then I looked at my savings. What does that look like? What do I need to build an emergency fund for my family and to have that short-term and long-term spending that I've done? Another thing I did financially, which some of my family thought I was crazy, is that I'm already paying them off, so I don't really need them. I got rid of a lot of my credit cards. I didn't close them per se, but to prevent me from using them for emergencies and other situations, I cut up a lot of them. I don't have a whole lot, but I have like 4 of them. That's too much for me. And the final thing I worked on was, what does it take? The final change I implemented was increasing my revenue. Hence, while I'm working more now, I do adjunct or part-time adjuncting at the university. So I teach part-time. And that income, when it comes in, goes to things that I need to take care of in my home, different projects that I need to take care of in my house. It goes towards helping my family. And also it goes towards me paying a lot of things off. So that's where a lot of the income is coming. And that's why I'm taking on extra work to pay those things off. Now, when it comes to the car, it's funny because when it all happened and I lost my truck, I was stressed out. But the blessing out of that was Ronnie J already has a car, and my daughter just saved up for her first car. So we literally, my truck was destroyed, and we literally just got her a car like a month before that. So I've been carpooling with everybody. So, and my family's been fine with it. It really helped us out because now I'm not focusing on the vehicle, or I'm taking my time finding another vehicle, but at the same time, I'm helping my daughter fix her vehicle. And then if there's anything that they need or I could provide, I give it to my family. And if they give me a ride, I put gas in their car and all that good stuff while I'm still trying to find the car that I want. So these changes have really helped me, and they're helping me get to where I want to be financially, sustainability, and self-sufficiently. Talk a little bit about my holistic life plan. To give you a quick summary of what my goal is, and I got my journal open, so I'm gonna give you guys a little snippet of what my journal says. My goal for the next 5 years is to achieve financial security by improving my financial position through self-development, self-sufficiency, sustainability, and simple living. This, first of all, what I'm about to read you, or what I'm reading you, is something that is pasted in my book, is pasted on my computer, and is pasted on my bathroom mirror. When I tell you I am serious about this, I've been saying this every day for the past month or two. I get up in the morning, I see it, I repeat it. In the evening, I repeat it. This helps me realize I have this goal because it reminds me of why I'm doing what I'm doing. Like I told you earlier, I really didn't know my why. I didn't know what the purpose was. And by doing this and writing it down and sharing it and talking about it, it helps me figure out my why. So that's what this is. Now that I have my goal, the next couple of things that I had to work on is, how am I going to get to that goal? What am I going to do? So what I'm working on is creating SMART goals, and I'm creating objectives to go with those goals. There's going to be 4 ways that I plan on accomplishing this goal in the next 5 years. 1 is invest in education, professional development, and growth opportunities that will enhance my skills and knowledge. 2, build a strong financial foundation. 3, participate in sustainable habits. And 4, adapt a simple and content lifestyle. Now that I've created those objectives, and objectives mean like, what am I going to do to get there, or in order to reach that goal? After that, I created a bunch of tasks. And I'm not going to cover my task now, but I'm going to show you my book. So for every, and you probably I can't see this, for every objective that I wrote down, like you see right here, I actually end up creating a bunch of tasks. What does that look like in order for me to reach those objectives? What does that mean for me? And these are tasks that I could do every day, and I can look towards to every day in order to reach my ultimate goal at 5 years, or at the end of 5 years. Needless to say, this is why I'm working so much. This is why there are many changes that you can and can't see in my life right now that is pushing me towards my end goal. Honestly, losing my truck sucked because I just genuinely liked having it. But at the same time, I've come to realize that it served its purpose. It did. It served its purpose. It helped out my family multitude of times. I have gotten the value of that truck, oh my gosh, tenfold. But now that it's gone, the season is over for it. And now it's the season for growth and transformation. And that's where I'm at. I'm at a point where I'm at peace. I'm happy. I'm content. Man, I've enjoyed, I've realized that a car is, on one hand, it could be a necessity because I need to get back and forth to work, but it is not stressful. You know, it's actually a luxury to have a vehicle. Yes, we need it at times, but it's actually a luxury to maintain it. And it's not just a vehicle, because some people have cars that are paid off. It could be something else, living in a super expensive house, or having a super expensive hobby, or something like that. But needless to say, all this and that accident really opened my eyes to see what's valuable. What's valuable to me is making memories with my family, the environment, or be more mindful of the resources given to us from the earth. Also, what can I do for myself and my family? What resources can I bring into the house or bring into our urban homestead to provide for my family? Because, not saying COVID, something drastic like the past couple of years with COVID is going to happen again, but I want to be better prepared next time, God willing. I want to be better prepared. I want to be aware. And these are my whys that I'm telling you as I'm talking to you. I want to be able to utilize resources now for the future of generations. And I want to contribute, even if it's small. I want to be able to contribute to that by making better choices. With my family, I want to be able to learn how to be a good steward over my funds so that I can continue to teach my children or continue to teach those that want to know about it. I'm looking at all these things now and I'm at peace. I am so at peace, because before I wasn't at peace. I was really stressing. I'm telling you, I was stressed out. Like, I just didn't realize where I was going with this. I almost, there was a couple times I wanted to get that truck back. I was like, this, sheesh. But it wasn't just that. It was bills, debt, looking at the amount of credit cards debt that I was looking at, school. So it all played out to a benefit. I didn't see it at first, but now that I've had time to think about it, and now that I'm starting to look at my life plan, what I thought was a bad situation at the time, a devastating situation, ended up becoming a blessing. This is part one of my journey, and as I grow and evolve, I plan on sharing it with you so that hopefully it inspires you and encourages you to evaluate yourself and do the same. With that being said, I opened up about my financial struggles or my goals to be sustainable and self-sufficient, and just my goals on life. What are yours? Have you experienced anything similar to me? Have you broken away and become more financially stable, or found more peace in what you do at home? Have you decided that, you know what, I want to be more eco-friendly and so forth and so forth? What did you do? Did you try to be more sustainable or self-sufficient? What did you do to bring those resources back into your home or back into your control? So let me know in the comments below. I hope this video inspired you and encouraged you. I hope you found some value out of it. If you have, and you have not already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, that like button, and that notification bell, because we appreciate it. and we will keep bringing more videos and more insight to you. For those that have joined the channel and have been here for a while, or you just started yesterday, or you've been our A1s from day ones, we appreciate you guys. You get a heart because you're here. Thank you for tuning in, and until next time, you guys stay awesome, be easy, and stay supertastic. Peace. Well, there you have it. Thanks for tuning in to My Afro-Bohemian Homestead. I hope that this video helped you in some shape or form, and it inspired you to consider urban homesteading in your space. That said, if you have not already, go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell so you can join the family. Plus, it helps us out. And when you get a chance, go ahead and check out our other videos over there just to see what we're about. You know, we talk about DIY projects, urban gardening, and also food preservation and whatever else is relevant to homesteading. So it'd be nice for you to join us and check us out and maybe teach us a thing or two. That said, thank you guys for tuning in, and until next time, enjoy simple living and stay supertastic. Peace.